Hey, welcome back to cut. Hey, welcome back to Tactical Airsoft.
Welcome back to Warsaw Tactical.
Another episode of Warsaw Tactical. Man, that's a cool name. We're gonna start this new thing called I don't know. We originally started bench talk. We went outside and we're in the great outdoors, a beautiful blue sky outside, and man, it was just great. But it's like 90 degrees out. The phone was overheating.
I was overeating.
He was overheating. We had a wasp nest next to us, and I felt a little nervous about that. So it didn't work out that good. So here we are inside, like a couple of softies in the air conditioning, with a fan blowing on us and unnatural light. But anyway, you know what? We're gonna call it couch talk today, because you know what? After all, we have a couch and we're gonna talk. I promise you, the talk will get better. Please stay tuned. But you know what? The title of the video, we purposely named it "How to Be the Best at Airsoft," and that it has nothing to do with aiming. This is true. We're gonna give you guys some tips. We're gonna give you guys some bullet points, some things to work on. By no means are we excluded. This is something that we do on a regular basis, something that we implemented in our lives, these steps that we needed to take. It's not necessarily what you wanted to hear, but
We all need to hear.
what we all need to hear. It's kind of like eating broccoli. You know, your mom tells you when you're growing up, or
Okay, just quit rambling on. This is couch talk.
all right, sorry, but like I was saying, it's kind of like eating broccoli. When you don't like it, you're not supposed to. But your
Just
mom.
quit.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So, but you know what? I'm older, probably much older than a lot of you guys. I'm probably talking to a lot of 20-somethings, and probably even younger. But you know what? I don't care how old or how young or whatever you are. I think that you ought to aim to be the best that you can be, no matter what. I'm 51 years old. To a lot of you, that's probably ancient.
Yeah, that's pretty ancient.
Yeah, it's pretty old, isn't it?
Fossil.
Maybe I should grow up and stop playing with plastic replicas.
Pew pew.
Okay, so anyway, but you know what? About 6 months ago, I got on this kick. We got on this kick. My family got on this kick about eating right, doing some things, trying to lose weight, changing things up. I had a couple little scares where I had some issues with high blood pressure and some probably problems with possibly a little bit of diabetic problem maybe coming up, although it was never confirmed. I can tell all the signs. I'm not a guy that runs to the doctor unless I've got a big gaping hole somewhere in my body. But I knew what to do. I could check my own blood pressure, and I knew I didn't feel right. So you know what? I kind of made a promise to myself that, you know what, I'm going to work on this. Not out of choice, but probably more of necessity. So that's why I take it serious. To me, we started out eating right, exercising, all these different things, and we get into a lot of playing with lead. We typically spend about 8 to 20 hours at our range, or one of 3 ranges that we have, that we belong to, fortunately enough. And we wanted more. Got really bored with bench work and
Tinkering.
short stuff work, which we shoot at pretty long distances, 50 and 100 yards with these.
150 to 300 feet for you airsoft guys.
Yeah, everything, just when we talk in yardage, that's because we come from that world. Everything's yardage. Add feet, it's 3 feet. So basically like one big step. So you want to know where 20 yards is? Take 20 big steps. And without a rangefinder, you can get very close enough. So anyway, we wanted something more. needed a break from that, and we got into airsoft. And you know what? It's been an absolute addiction ever since. We play darn near every week if we're not out of town. Um, and it's a great weight loss, getting in shape um, thing that we do. And you know what? It's for you guys that play and have been playing. You know what? It's absolutely awesome. It's such a good time. But so that's why we take it serious. And, you know, I think you ought to aim to be the best that you could be. Like I said, I think that that is in more than just airsoft. Obviously, airsoft to us is bringing another part of the lead world where where you can't really have a whole lot of fun with lead because, you know, I mean, although, you know, it takes cheaters out of the whole equation. I mean, you know, it takes the life right out of them.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, personally, I don't care about cheaters, guys. I don't get into all that. I have fun doing this stuff. I don't care. I'll call ricochets. I could care less. If I shoot somebody, they don't call it. I don't get upset. I could care less. I'm having a freaking great time. I'm having a time of my life. I don't take it that serious. I know some of you guys make money doing this stuff or could make money doing this stuff. That's great. But you know what? Don't take it too serious either way. But, you know, I think that men ought to be doing this stuff. And I know that I'm primarily speaking to men. I know that my son and myself growing up, when we were younger, when we were older here too, that, you know what, very simply, we need to do more than just sit on a couch and play on phones or play video games and stuff like that. We're not made for that. We have so many problems with weight in our society. We have so many problems with depression. We have problems with just a lot of different things that we shouldn't be having problems with if we just get out and do some of those things that men were made to do. We're supposed to be outside. We're supposed to be outside. We're supposed to be doing things. We're supposed to be in the sunshine. We're supposed to be interacting with people.
Getting dirty, getting sweaty.
Getting dirty, getting sweaty. All these different things. You know, a lot of kids, they go to school, they sit in a classroom for 8 to 10 hours a day. And you know what? The teachers get mad and everybody gets mad, administrators get mad, and they want the kids on medication and everything else. I worked in school for a long time, and how pathetic that, you know, if a boy is not sitting perfectly still all the time, that, oh, they got to put them on medications, and they do. And it's sad. Then you see that medication suck the life right out of these poor kids. When in fact, when I was growing up in the 80s, we would start our day off, well, we'd walk to school for one, usually kicking an apple or a can or something all the way to school, or just something silly, just goofing off. We'd ride bikes after school. We'd get to school, we'd sit for a few hours, we'd go to recess and lunch, and then after school, a lot of times we'd have something called intramurals. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that. Maybe I'm dating myself with that, but it's literally after school gym class, sort of, where, you know what, one time we might be like trying to climb to the ceiling of our gym, and I was in like 4th grade, climbing to the ceiling on a rope climbing. Literally, like, I don't know, 20 feet up. It's like death defying. They had like a 2-inch mat at the bottom, so if you fall, you just bounce off of it apparently, and you're okay after that. Splat. But we got a lot of ways to get outside and blow steam off, and after school we'd ride bikes all the time, everywhere you go. We were never inside. We didn't have phones back then. We barely had cartoons. but we definitely didn't have YouTube. But you know what? This is what we're made to do. But in this playing airsoft and that, you know, we meet just awesome people. I think the airsoft community is just made up of awesome people. You know what? Quite frankly, I found out that we're all just a bunch of nerds, really. You know,
That's the reason why we get along so well.
That's why we get along so well. You know what? We get around a lot of ego type guys, tactical, whatever you want to call them, guys, in the lead world, and it's just ego, one after another. It's really annoying. You know what? I can go to airsoft and hang out with fellow nerds, and you know what? Great people, man. We have such a great time, conversation, and we're all there just to have a great time. And you know what? there's no egos flying around, and you know, a lot of times we run into getting back on the whole what we're made to do, but you know, I don't know. Um, we're made to do these kind of things. We're made to battle. We're made to run and gun and break and climb and swing and all this different stuff. And, you know, we meet vets out there. We've heard of different vets um, getting into airsoft, and or they discovered it and found out that's really truly something they really needed. You know, these guys get out of a war, and the thing is that they go through a lot when they get home. And you know, a lot of these guys are finding out that, you know what, they don't have a lot of the problems that they have when they get out and they do something like do these warrior runs, um, or get into airsoft or some kind of something along those lines, a rough, tough sort of environment.
Or release for that side of yourself.
Exactly. And that's what these guys find more often than not, that they're missing that. And they're looking for that. And so many of them, they come out and they have what they call PTSD or these different problems in that. And a lot of them go back in, and suddenly the PTSD, in a lot of these cases, goes away. It's gone. Because they're back where they need to be. I'm not speaking exclusively, and I greatly sympathize with anybody that's gone and done stuff like that. I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm talking about people that I know, people that we've talked to. We've watched different interviews with people in the airsoft community and just different communities like that. But anyway, the aiming aspect of things comes with time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's experience. It's doing perfect every time doesn't come by doing perfect every time. You have to work for it.
yeah,
And that's how it goes.
literally,
Perfect practice makes perfect.
yeah, exactly. A lot of people can learn the wrong way, and they do it for the wrong way a long time, and they literally fight with themselves. Fortunately enough, we spent enough time and got hooked up with the right situations where, thankfully, we learned the right way and extremely effective at with short and long lead slingers, if you want to call them. But and that's not a testament necessarily to us, other than the fact that we continue to pursue accuracy. But you know, anybody can do it. Anybody here watching can do this stuff. We know a guy that deals with tremors and different stuff where his hands shake like this, and literally he shoots right along with us, and in many times can shoot better than us because it's a discipline and you're making yourself do something. This guy can regularly take a 22 long lead slinger off a bench and get a half-inch group at 100 yards on a regular basis.
In the wind.
Not even, I mean, it's a discipline. Just like anything else you do. You learn a discipline and you just transfer that over and over and over. And anybody watching could do it. It's just, what do you want? So that's kind of like what we're bringing to this airsoft. What do you want out of it?
How much do you want to put into it?
How much do you want to put into it? To us, it's real life. It's, yeah, we're running around with plastic guns, shooting plastic. We're running around with plastic replicas, hitting each other with plastic BBs. But you know what? For one, they hurt, so you don't want to get hurt. So you learn to tuck and hide and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? There's no substitution for getting out there and doing it, because in real life, you don't know what's going to happen down the road. You don't know if you're going to be in a defense situation. You don't know, how you're going to react. And quite frankly, people want to call these guys nerds or whatever else. You know what? I'd take most of these nerds and put them on my side than most other people that have been in the military and stuff like that. Not cracking, but you know what? I know a lot of guys that are in the military or were in the military, and they get out, they gain weight, they don't care about anything else, and they get soft, unfortunately. And these guys are out there doing it. These guys are out there getting training, real training. These guys are running. These guys are jumping. These guys are learning how to close quarter battle out of instinct. All these different things. So aiming comes with time. But you know what? We're going to go over some stuff that you can do right now. This is now, right now. And you know what? We're going to get right to it. The first thing I want to talk about is not only eating right or starting to eat right, but drinking right. I'm going to tell you a little story real quick. My son and I recently went on a 12-mile walk. We do 2, 3, 5, 6, 8-mile walks all the time, sometimes 12, whatever. We recently went on a 12-mile walk, and we took 1 bottle of water each. It was in the baking hot sun, probably a 90-something degree day.
On hot asphalt.
Yeah.
No wind.
Yeah.
High humidity.
It was miserable. But it wasn't miserable. It would have been miserable on any other given day, except for the fact that, you know what, we've been eating and drinking right. We've been working up to this point. And, you know, the fact is that we went and did this. We got to our first 6-mile destination, and we turned around. At that point, we were out of water. We were barely sipping any water. We wanted to do that on purpose, but because we don't want to be soft. I don't want to go on a walk and have 5 gallons of water with me, and, you know, everything I possibly need, and a cell phone, and a backup, and to my backup, and everything else. No, I want to know what it is to go out and suffer and be in a situation that I have to get myself back. And we do this on a regular basis. So we were out of water. We knew it was going to be smart to get another water. It was a test trial thing. So we stopped at the bait shop that we were by the lake, and we got he went in to get some water, and they had one of the popular drinks. I won't spell it or say it. I'll spell it. Partially PROPE. One more letter. Use your imagination. This stuff they show as, you know, people exercising, and, you know, they're running and sweating, and they're doing all these crazy things, and man, they're able to do everything that I can't do because they're drinking this drink. Well, all right, so Zach goes in and grabs a couple of those. They don't have any water. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I take a few sips of it, and
almost immediately you stop sweating.
Yeah, it was like,
which is a bad thing.
It was like 2 minutes, I think. Like you said, we literally stopped sweating. Our shirts were completely drenched, and they started drying. I'm like, this is really weird. And not only that, but there was a very weird, bad smell coming off of our bodies.
I started looking around, looking for a dead possum or something.
Yeah, seriously.
And then I realized it was me and him.
Yeah. It didn't smell like, you know, typical BO, like rancid, didn't wear deodorant stuff. This smelled like absolute garbage, a dead animal. And literally, we both felt terrible. Within probably less than 10 minutes, we both started getting headaches, pretty bad. We were wearing down. It started just taking the life right out of us, to be honest with you, although we kept going. But you know what I knew? I knew immediately what had happened, what it was. I knew why. It was because of that stinking drink, whether it's sugar, whether it's something else that's put in there. Let's just say I don't believe what they tell me. I usually go against opposite of what they tell me. I wish I could have gone back and literally not had anything to drink, but I guess it was a good lesson to learn and something we could share with you guys. But I think that, you know, and by the way, immediately the heat started bothering us really bad, which was very surprising.
Started feeling very sluggish and fatigued, and yeah.
Wow.
I felt better when I was completely dehydrated.
Yeah, truly. So you know what? And if you do a lot of looking and searching, you'll find out that drinks affect you a whole lot different ways than food does. Although I think it's all bad. But these popular drinks that you guys are chugging and we used to chug like they were going out of style. You know what? They are not good, and they will take you out. We played last weekend. It was really hot where we're at, and there was some four guys that three of them play regularly. I guess we never met them, but they're bigger guys and excellent players. Just our most formidable opponents probably thus far. And there were just a few people playing. It was not a big game at all, unfortunately. But got a couple games in, and then the owner of the place called for hot dogs, and it was lunchtime. These guys went up, started heading up there to get a couple of hot dogs, and each one of them had one hot dog apiece. I'll give them credit. I thought that was great. But you know what? I looked at Zach and I said, they're not coming back. They're done. Because we know what food does to you, what bad food does to you, bad drinks and stuff. And two of them dropped out, and two of them played one more game. I knew it. It was it.
It was only halfway through the day. And we
Yeah.
ended up having to quit because there was nobody left.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 of us left. It was over for the day. It was pretty disappointing. But we called it. You know why? Because we know what this poison is doing. We know what, sitting down and chugging a donut or goldfish or potato chips or Pepsi or Dr. Pepper, or some of this other garbage does to you. We know because in the last 6 months, we've experimented heavily with it. And we know when you do something wrong, it's going to affect you so badly. We know it because when you get in tune with yourself, you start recognizing those things. We've got a garden, and a lot of you guys don't have gardens or live in an apartment or something like that. We drink nothing but water and green and black tea, and we use honey for sweetener, real honey. Start slow. Do something that you can do. What we started doing was implementing more vegetables. Instead of fries, we would throw broccoli and cheese in there or something like that. Steam the broccoli, don't steam to death or something. You can go to Walmart and buy bags of vegetables, and they'll literally last in your freezer for 6 months. It's as simple as that. You don't have to live next to a produce store. You don't have to, be a farmer. You don't have to do a lot of this stuff. Although obviously, if you can grow it yourself, that's great. You can literally go to the dollar store, buy a pack of zucchini or squash seeds. They grow almost anywhere. You need about, I don't know, this big of an area for it to vine, and then you can make it grow up or something like that. You can eat squash. You shave it, cut that stuff up, throw it in a little bit of olive oil, saute it. You could put 15 different spices in it. That's what I do.
Take zucchini, chop it up, and throw it in with something.
Oh yeah. Make the stir fry with it. Throw some teriyaki, some eggs. You don't even have to have chicken or beef. You can use that. Use a little bit of sauces, any kind of dressing or sauces. Cut way down on that, but still use it. And do what you like for dinner, and then breakfast and lunch. Eat something super healthy, and then your snacks in between. Reward yourself with dinner, and then slowly start creeping that back, and eventually maybe get to where you're not eating the fries, and you're definitely not eating the desserts. This is gonna suck for a few weeks. You're gonna have withdrawals. This stuff is made to keep you addicted. And I can promise you one thing. You start eating apples, oranges, grapefruits, broccoli, bananas, all these different things. I will promise you one thing. You will not be hungry nearly as much as you used to be eating all that junk. That stuff is 100% designed to make you hungry.
You'll start to crave it too.
Yep. If I go to bed and I have nacho chips and salsa, something stupid before I go to bed, which isn't even that bad, but if I eat nacho chips like that, I wake up hungry. If I don't wake up hungry. And typically my hunger can be satisfied with an apple or something very similar. You guys that want to build some muscle, you guys want to get some, you have low testosterone, you want to get that build up, you want to, all these different things, get more energy. There's 18 grams of protein in an egg. And if you weigh 200 pounds, you should probably start out around 100 grams of protein per day. Eggs are super cheap. They're about 12 to 15 cents per egg. So literally, for about $1 something a day, you could have all of your protein. And you can eat some whole grain pastas rather, for probably less than $1 a day. you guys, if you really, and maybe we'll do a video about this. Maybe we'll talk about it sometime. I'll come up with some charts. I'll show some stuff, whatever about how super cheap you can eat. And once again, you'll find out that you're eating so much less, so your grocery bill will go skyrocketing downward when everything seems to be going up. All right. Well, the next very important part of this video, these points that we're trying to get across and get you to implement in your life, is exercise.
Very important.
Very important.
You go out and play airsoft. That's all it is exercise. It's a 10-hour hit exercise.
Yeah. It's a 10-hour HITT, high intensity exercise for, well, however long you play it. Some people can only play for a couple hours. Some people would play for 10 hours. But the fact is that, you know what, once again, I don't believe in all this, we came from caveman type stuff and we're made to hunt dinosaurs and chase them down and all that. But you know what, I also don't believe that no matter what, that we were made to travel everywhere using a vehicle, because I know firsthand how much walking benefits me personally, unbelievably, many people as a matter of fact. It burns fat like you wouldn't believe. And it cures back pain, believe it or not. We can get into that another day. But you know what? We started at eating right, drinking right. Very hard to do, but once you do it, you will start craving those good foods instead of craving Doritos and pizza, honestly. And we make our own pizzas. Our pizzas blow all the other guys away that we used to buy from. They're so much better. I can't even eat that garbage anymore.
And they're healthy.
They're healthy. And they
Just,
taste amazing.
they're not pumped full of poison.
Exactly. I go to Walmart and I buy those jars, I don't know how many ounces, they're about this big, they're probably a pound. They're like $6 or something, and they're full of garlic. It's real garlic. You go buy and try to do your own garlic. For one, it takes forever. It's a pain. But you go buy that for $5-6, and it will cost you a fortune doing it that way. And you can put this stuff in everything to saute it. Garlic is absolutely amazing. It takes down inflammation. It's just all these things that we're telling you guys. The black tea, the green tea, the garlic, the honey, the all this kind of stuff is medicine to your body, medicine for your soul. And we're trying to get across with the food, we're trying to get across with the exercise. That exercise includes getting sun. You have to get out in the sun. We are made to be in the sun. You have to get out in the sun. Walking will do that for you, obviously. Don't put a hat on. I don't care what they say. I just don't believe that crap. I believe the foods give you cancer. I believe other habits give you cancers. I don't believe that God made the sun and it kills us. If you want to believe that, go ahead. I personally don't believe that. The food pyramid, well, it's upside down, let's just say. It used to be the other way. And now it's upside down, and look what's happened to our country, or countries that we live in. Look at the people, especially in America. We've fallen apart as a society. We're unhealthy. We're full of cancer. We're full of death and disease. It's pathetic, obesity. And it causes mental problems. I have a saying, and it's not mine, but it kind of is mine, actually. It's from a lot of research I've done and everything else inside my own life, and it's called healthy body, healthy mind, healthy body. The two go hand in hand. If you have a healthy body, there's a good chance you're going to have a healthy mind. If you have a healthy mind, there's a good chance you're going to have a healthy body, because they work together. And when you have both, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're living the life that you're supposed to be living. You need to get sun. Another way that we get sun personally is, we used to work out in the garage. I'd go in spurts and work out, and I'd get sick of the monotony of it, and I would just get out of it for a long time. I used to be into weights greatly. I used to run, I used to swim, I used to do all these different things, and bike, and got out of it because it's so monotonous, so much of that weight training and that. And you know what? We're going to cut to a little clip to show you what we do Although I'm not going to go into great detail because that's going to be for a future video that you're going to really want to tune into. Okay, so we went over why we take it so seriously. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. We talked about thinking right, eating right, drinking right, exercising, and probably most importantly, that will help you through every one of those points, is stop being a wimp. Stop looking for comfort at every corner. Stop making excuses, because we all have them. If you fall off the wagon, even for a week, who cares? Jump back on it, get yourself going again. And you know what? We read every comment, and we'll respond to every comment. So please, we have a great advantage bouncing everything off of each other on a daily basis. You know what? Feel free to bounce everything off of us. Go back and forth. This is called edifying. You bring each other up. You help each other out. This is what we do at our ranges. We try to help people better with their pew-pews and be effective. And we just try to bring people up. And we don't ask for money. We don't ask for anything for it. We just, I think that's what we ought to do for each other. If we can't do that, then who the heck are we? But you know what? Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on your notifications. Anything else you gotta say?
Always be ready.
Always be ready.